Shout out to the VIP. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. We're going to cover the market open. New York is open. Wanted to give it just a bit of time to breathe. In terms of the assets, we'll cover NVDA, Bitcoin, and Tesla. Just to go through some pick up zones. Looks like there's a little bit of value this morning in the market. Going to go over some techniques. And we want to shout out to all of our VIP #1 trade group. This is London, former hedge fund owner, Duke University, Harvard Business School. Guys, non-SEC, not financial advice. In terms of the action, a little bit of a break on the open of New York. Let's take a look at Tesla. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. And let's take a look at what's picking up in the market. As we have a bit of a drop, the notion would be, is there an opportunity for a pickup long, or is there a risk for a pickup long? We will dig into those specific details. I have a level lined out, particularly on the 15-minute that has traded. Essentially, we're looking at that 15-minute lower pro line. We're looking at the 3-minute. Guys, in terms of that 3-minute, particularly on NVIDIA, lower pro, meaning our specific fire and ice. If you are trading, if you entered for at least even a flash trade on the open, first minute, 2 minutes into the trading day, you're looking at a positive trade based on, and note such, that 3-minute, and actually that's going to be the green buy line. Pardon me for that, is the green buy line, not the lower pro. The way that we have this laid out, we have the specific, and let's dig into this so that we can see. We have the pro lines, which are going to be the specific white dotted lines, that most interior function here. Let me take the Bollinger Band off quickly. These are the pro lines. You'll see here the specific green buy line. You always need to include pattern consideration, but in terms of the pickup, yes, that 3-minute on NVIDIA. And I say note such because please note the time frame. Please note the fact that the 3-minute on NVIDIA on the open has paid. That's important as you look at maximizing your efficiency in the market. Very, very important. What also was crucial, looks like here on the 3-minute, we did have the cap line signal. RSI, MACD, and stochastics was red. Okay, so your RSI, MACD, and stochastics were red. Quick trade out of the gate. You see this in terms of where we may be heading down to. If we can identify, and I'll say the risk as we were looking at this caught my eye right out of the starting gate. The risk, we talked about this yesterday here on NVIDIA, is the 30-minute time frame. Absolutely be aware that the specific bottom side target, boom, nearly completed right there. Bottom side target of this specific lower band is in play after the candle opened below that 30-minute. That caught my eye right out of the starting gate. I want to encourage each and every one of you of the following fact. If you're trading live based upon what I am saying and you don't have these tools, I will remind you that there is a delay, a built-in delay from what YouTube broadcasts to what you receive. And yes, you must be prepared to be behind the 8 ball with any live trading that you see. I don't even hear anyone mention this. Shout out to our VIP. I've never heard anyone really mention this that talks about live trading and giving opportunities to traders. I want to be loud and clear. There is a delay function between what YouTube will actually broadcast and between, guys, there's a filtration system built into YouTube. So no, horribly inappropriate content gets out on YouTube. So if anyone's trading live, got to tell you guys, and they want people, offer people an opportunity, you're literally putting people at a deficit. So take in the tactic, take in the trade tactics, the procedures that we're going through in terms of the fundamentals of technical analysis that we're applying, but learn to apply it in real time. You must do this without a doubt, guys, without a doubt. That's NVIDIA. Near completion. It's a great opportunity very quickly to speak about the fact that a open candle, guys, here underneath with a drop, I'm going to say near within threshold to target. Okay, now in terms of that, let's take a quick look at what the exact pink line is, the 20 moving average. Let's go ahead and measure down to the lower band. Let's bring it back here. In terms of the completion, that's over a 90% completion to the downside, okay? Over a 90% completion to target. Excellently well done. That's within threshold. When I say a target, if we can get 90% of the way there, you definitely have a decision to make, is the way that I would look at this. What is a hot spot right now? hotspot of resistance is going to be the 20 moving average on the specific NVIDIA. And guys, with your moving averages, if you're not used to the 20, you can deal with the 5 or the 20 or the 4 or the 9 or the 18 or the 21 or the 50, 100, 200 combos as you like, okay? As you like. The big elephant in the room here on NVIDIA is the 4 hourly. I'll just tell you, it's our lower pro line pickup or the 20 moving average at 479. That's a nice level that is being targeted. I would just tell you guys that in terms of the pattern formation, and we'll get to Tesla in a minute. I know there's some action on Tesla. We'll pick it up, guys, in just a moment. I wanted to focus on NVIDIA while I'm reminding everyone that there is a delay, okay? There's a delay between what YouTube naturally broadcasts and guys, the information that you're receiving. I want you to think about that fact when you're reviewing charts online or anything that isn't real time. Guys, in terms of anything that's posted, anything that's filtered, in terms of a delay function, you're operating behind the 8 ball in terms of that, as the old saying would go. So looking at a bit of a wedge function, I will line this out on some differentiated time frames on the lines. What's important on a wedge, yes, the bullish structure on the 4 hourly. I'm also looking for any type of a failure of a typically bullish pattern. If we can round around and go to the downside, I'm looking for a recoup to this apex. Boom. That demand agreement of buyers on support, sellers on resistance. I want this if I can get underneath it. I want to start scheduling in and becoming aggressive for this recoup move that's going to surprise the majority of the traders. You guys know that. Okay, so let's take a look let's dig into Tesla, guys. Hope you're doing well. We'll hit Bitcoin as well. Hope Bitcoin is treating you fairly. If you don't feel you're being treated fairly by Bitcoin, guys, you're going to join the club. It's a very difficult technical trading machine. It is a breakout killer. I will tell you, it is a breakout killer. If you're chasing price to the upside on Bitcoin or to the downside in terms of a long or short respectively, it will kill those traders who are doing such. What's great on, guys, what's just incredible on and caught the bottom of Bitcoin? Fire and Dice, our Fire and Dice indicator. Yes, what's going on? VIP, way to go. You'll see on the hourly, after a crossover here on Bitcoin, you'll see within threshold again, mirroring that fact, the componentry that we just saw on NVIDIA. About a 90%, what'd you guys call that? Maybe a 95% after the break under the 20 moving average. You'll see nice completion down to target. Boom, lower side band. Remember, above, breakout, guys, up and over, and you always want to back test this. It's not a guaranteed deal, but it is recognized by the New York Institute of Finance, where Wall Street literally goes to school. Not a fly-by-night shop, guys. In terms of the tactic, it is recognized by New York Institute of Finance. Make sure you pick up Murphy so you'll listen to him instead of me or anybody else, guys. Focus on what Wall Street focuses on. So in terms of that, we met target to the downside. Once you see a break under the 20, just understand that the market participants, the sophisticated ones, are looking for completion to target, okay? Make sure that you incorporate those issues. The biggest issue right now is being underneath the specific monthly on Bitcoin. You guys know that, okay? We've got to pick up potential along this RSI stochastic and MACD line. Boom. Potential pickup orders are waiting, guys. They're stacked at 22, 7, 18. Let's see here, 22, let's just call it 22.5. Get specific with that, get the magnifying glass out. I'll tell you, just don't miss out on the opportunity. If orders are stacked, don't miss out on the opportunity to participate on those pickups. Now, let's dig in to Tesla right off the bat. What's playing? Within threshold. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What do we got, guys? A beautiful pickup along that 20 moving average. Boom. On Tesla, on the 30-minute, that is engaging right now. You will note on Tesla, it's like, well, it wasn't an exact hit. You'll notice that across the board on Tesla. Looks like you got a little momentum there and a push ongoing. Let's see what else is picking up. Our RSI, our MACD, our specific stochastic line is also picking up. We are flashed a blue signal, but you'll see that engage currently right now. Buyers are engaging currently with a stop loss. So it's not whether or not the trade will work. I'll tell you, they're picking up right now and they are trading. Boom, right into our capital exposure line. Those are trades, okay? To the extent that you are more sophisticated and more advanced in your trading, this will offer an opportunity for potentially higher margin, potentially indefinitely, I'll say a tighter stop loss. As you look at exposing yourself in terms of higher margin, I want to remind you there are two parts of the equation. As you see this level trading, there are two parts of the equation. noted that we would love to get some 20 moving averages pickups on the 4 hourly. I want you to please dial into the 4 hourly right now on Tesla. Looking at a hit along the 20 would be a brilliant pickup today. We'd like to see that. And we have a negative, a bit of a cross indication here with, please pay attention, RSI, MACD, and stochastics is red. That means bears are controlling this on the 4 hour currently, okay? That would give us an expectation or at least a warning of coming into contact, please listen, with that 20 moving average. Anytime that we have bears in control of, the guys enforceably in control in terms of a red cap line, that cap line is RSI, stochastic, and MACD. That's it. Pure and simple. So while we look at the micro pickups, we understand the differentiation and the lack of confirmation. A lack of confirmation between what, guys? Between the specific hourly and the 4 hourly. 4 hourly showing, right, that bears are in control on the 4 hourly. Larger time frame than what? Than the hourly, where we're showing the dynamic included here in terms of the pickup along that RSI, MACD, and stochastic line here. Understand, guys, I can lay this out in an oscillator below. We can look at each one individually. We can look at the RSI. We can look at stochastics. We can look at MACD. But what does that do? Every time you're looking down here, every time you're assessing an oscillator and your eye goes from the top price action to the bottom of an oscillator, you are losing time, concentration, perspective. So I'm a big fan of trying to incorporate the specific oscillators into the immediate price action. The more focused I can keep you and myself on these specific levels, the better opportunity you have to trade, the less distraction you have, the less of an equation it becomes and a challenge that it becomes for you to incorporate RSI, RSI, stochastics, and MACD directly into your price action trade decision. I understand you need to execute your trades. That requires attention. This can be an aggressive process. And in terms of that execution, I don't want it to be overly challenging. Simplifying it for you is the name of the game. So we understand. Let's backtrack. Understanding the 1 hourly right now is in conflict or contradiction, being that we have positive RSI, MACD, and stochastics, meaning blue, right? We've gone blue there. In terms of the specifics for Tesla on the 4 hourly, we have the contradiction because we are red. Bears in control. I chose blue and red. It lines up with our original. Here, if you were to look at this, is our specific Z-Pack Bollinger, okay? Z-Pack Bollinger is where the capital line initiated, and you can see now as I scroll out into this level, just take a look. This is a kernel derivative of your RSI, stochastics, and MACD. That's why I say it is RSI, stochastics, and MACD. This is your capital line, intended to give you a warning if and when we turn red and you've got bears expressing an unequivocal level of control in the market. Now, will they always hold? No. Will bulls always hold? No. You understand these issues, but now you can see in oscillator form what we have placed alongside price action for you to take advantage of. So just mind yourself as well. Every time you're looking down, hunting for information, where's price? If you're looking to the downside of an oscillator, where is price exactly? Focus right here. I want you to focus right here on the oscillator. Now, as you focus and zoom in, where is price exactly? You have no idea, right? Now, let's look up on the chart instead. Let's look on the chart instead and say, okay, great. Now, price is here. We know we're red, stochastic, RSI, and MACD. Where's price? Boom, right, guys, right on it the whole time. That's my goal as I, guys, hopefully open up, guys, some avenues, some avenues for you to operate more quickly and efficiently in the market. I've been around some extremely proficient operators in the market in terms of some of the top from Wall Street, and I want to make sure that you have that same level of proficiency, if possible, even to the possibility that you could exceed such, absolutely in the realm of possibilities. And I mean that, guys. I absolutely mean that. VIP in the house. Let's talk about the green buy line on Tesla. It's actually in the 15-minute right now. You'll know that that level has been engaging with a bit of a push. You'll see that green buy line adjust, boom, just slightly upon that specific change in the clock that we just got on the rollover from the 15-minute. You'll note that these bands will flex. I don't want to call it repainting. I want to call it a calculative adjustment. In terms of that, you'll see the adjustments push and pull. When I say that we caught the bottom of Bitcoin, for instance, on on the Fire and Ice. This is part of our Fire and Ice suite. And I'll just tell you, it's a kernel calculative. It's extremely good to work with. The number one thing about Fire and Ice is what? It provides you a pro level entry, a green buy line, and then a fire sale, okay? On each time frame. We prefer the larger time frames. As you're seeing this level pick up for money here on Tesla, I'm going to encourage you that the strongest, or just try and remind you, the strongest feature of Fire and Ice is a capital control program. Some sort of a notion that, okay, I have backup levels, including from the pro line, which means pro level traders, pro level in terms of the specific pro entry. I understand there's a green buy line below me. I understand there's also a fire sale line below me. All right, in terms of an all-in mentality, that does not exist in VIP. That is not part of the game that we play. So in terms of a capital allocation, we focus on a capital line to speak about some risks associated with capital allocation. That's one of the biggest challenges for traders. I will tell you, new and both novice and professional, is the level of capital exposure without a doubt. So as I look through price action, the 30-minute is just, that is the level, right? That is the line in the sand right now, along with that specific cap line on Tesla, trying to pick up. We'll get into some pattern identifications. We'll get into some, after a hot day Tesla, you guys know that, hot day on Tesla, we're going to be looking at, and here we see a bit of some action to the downside. Tesla down 2% after a screaming day yesterday, about 5% to the upside. Again, on Tesla, I would love, guys, I would love to pick up the specific, either the pro line, and pay attention, that lower pro line is a potential pickup on Tesla, or the 20 moving average. So these are on the hunt. I'll just tell you, there are orders. Just guys, there are orders here. In terms of that 20 moving average, it would be great to pick that up on the 4-hourly for Tesla. That's ideally what I would be, guys, focused on if I were you. In terms of the chart layout, please make sure you have 8 wide. Make sure, in addition to these screens, that you have some actual chart layouts as such that you can judge on the macro, on the micro, what your specific pattern formation will be, in addition to these just micro assessments that you're making cross time frame. Very important as you would delve into the into the opportunities that we have in the market. In terms of NVIDIA, let's pay attention here. What is acting as a near level of resistance on cap line to the downside? 3-minute. You'll notice that we got a signal for short on NVIDIA. Let's say we got an indication that the sellers are in control, the red cap line on stochastic MACD and RSI. So the fact that the sellers are in control, I would encourage you to start paying attention to the cap line, to its performance. In terms of operating as a level of resistance, please pay attention. A level of resistance when the bears are in control, meaning we're red, or a level of support if the bulls are in control. You'll find conformity with this notion on different time frames, but in order to utilize this specific tool to its utmost maximum, not only will it provide you with, let's say, a signal, but more importantly, I would be very impressed, and I think your account will show it if your returns will show it if you are in a position. Look at this, great. Anyone who's socked in from yesterday in terms of, are we opening over or under? We opened under on the 30, and look at it continue to, guys, rock and roll. What is important right now? You got it, the 4-hourly. Now we have this potentially in play now. That 4-hourly should be loaded with some at least flash trades on the specific 20 moving average on NVIDIA. Now, again, if you're trading live, you are operating at a deficit. You need to be trading on your own live trading view. Please incorporate everything that I'm saying, the tactical approach that I'm deploying and providing to you in terms of the considerations, in terms of the tools in play, in terms of the micro, yes, and the macro. These are a great opportunity for us to communicate about the open, but I just never hear anyone on YouTube talk about it all. And look at that 4-hourly pickup. Now, if I can predict it and bring it enough ahead for you to watch, say, hey, in 10 seconds, you've got a potential pickup on the 20 moving average on NVIDIA. If you all went to your screen and just said, hey, what's the price? And boom, I'm going to get in on the 4-hourly 20 moving average. then you can maybe call it a day. If you went heavily enough and you want to flash trade that, boom. But I just tell you, there's typically a delay. So instead of me running around, guys, I don't want to run around technically. That's it. But I want you to understand this is a delay function between what you're hearing and the real market price action. So this has already progressed on my screen, on your screen, past that filter that YouTube and public broadcasting systems are going to have built in to ensure that there's some proper content running across the airwaves. So to the extent that you are at a deficit, I just want to say congratulations. If you hit the NVIDIA 4 hourly, we've mentioned it heavily, guys, directly preceding to this. I'm a big fan of flash trades. You guys understand. What is a flash trade? I like to move as much capital as possible. Please listen, this is me. I like to move as much capital as possible, as quickly as possible, for the highest return possible. That's my equation. That's my equation. I don't appreciate the opportunity as much sometimes to gruel through a long, tedious month, 2 month, 3 month position. I categorize those carry trades differently. I like to hammer in quickly with as much cash, and guys, with as much cash as quickly as possible, as much in terms of profits that I can generate. That's my MO. That's the way I operate. That's the way I've become accustomed to operating in the market, but that's just me. So in terms of that, some of you are more proficient, or what I say, you're more comfortable operating with a flex swing trade, no problem. You want to see it dance around. You want that positive, the positive or the negative just to fly around your face in the account. I don't like to go red. I like it to execute in terms of my order, and I talk about my position, my profit loss. I like my position to execute. I like to see green on the screen, and when I see green on the screen, I know I have a decision to make, and hopefully I have precision, laser guided in my entry with the appropriate amount of capital, with a tight stop loss, and I'm getting the type of pricing in the market that allows me to execute, and boom, within a number of hopefully seconds or potentially minutes, I'm done with my trading day. I want to hit a few good trades and bam, I am out. With that said, I spend many mornings trading, okay? Not just for the 8 to 10 minutes or 8 to 10 seconds, let's say ideally 8 to 10 seconds that I want. So understand it involves a balance, particularly if you're a new trader. We'll look at the hourly right now is picking up and has hit back along the specific, this lower pro line on fire and ice, also that lower band. And I have scripted out here a bit of a projection on NVIDIA. Potential if the bulls, remember we had that failure yesterday, this was a big failure along that 20 moving average. You guys got that along the 20 moving average here. Nice short to engage. It required a bit of a hold, and this would be ideal. What we're going to be looking for in NVIDIA to provide some additional probabilities to play into whether or not it's a flash trade or a carry trade. We'd love to see bulls push back into the specific line of resistance with a parallel carry up from support to resistance. Don't forget these. Just had a big trade on Bitcoin without a doubt this last week based upon a parallel carry down, okay, from a level of resistance to support. So in terms of, let's take one more look in terms of what we're looking at. We got the 4 hourly pickup on NVIDIA. That was a nice trade for the morning. Please be patient as you look for your pickups. Do not overtrade. It doesn't do anyone good. With that said, if you have a technique down with your swing trading, no problem. If you have a technique down with your swing trading, no problem. Looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is trying to push up and along specific cap line and the 20 moving average on that specific hourly. Noted, great hit along the standard deviations. If you're not using standard deviations at all in line with your targeting, please adjust a bit to explore the possibility that your standard deviations or your cap lines or your fire and ice need to be. And guys, those are kernel averages essentially. Some of these nuanced indicators that I speak about are not a simple moving average, not an exponential moving average or a whole, etc. It's a kernel derivative. It's a more advanced and responsive and technically respected and professionally respected. As I talk about these, they may seem a little bit out there in terms of, okay, the stochastic, MACD, and RSI. This is a more professionally respected line here in terms of the calculation than a simple moving average, okay, or an exponential moving average. This is a kernel derivative here. It's an important issue to make sure that you are aware of. So just please, in your side time, potentially educate yourself to the extent that you would like more information on what a kernel calculation is in the market. So looking at a potential 30-minute pickup, what's my level on Tesla? And NVIDIA is just baiting, and this is where the time factor comes in. I was going to tell you guys, this is where the time factor comes in on a short week. What just happened on NVIDIA? We got a nice pickup on the 4-hourly. True, right? On that 4-hourly. Now, Tesla's running a little bit behind, right? Tesla's a bit behind as we would look at it. This to me is where the time factor comes in on the day. We are now open for 25 minutes on New York. And what is occurring? What is occurring is we are being invited to wait for the same hit on Tesla that we just got on NVIDIA. Okay, do you see the time factor? We talked about this yesterday, but when I start to see a move, bam, and a nice trade, boom, on NVIDIA at the 4-hourly, you got it right. I want you to please make at least a mental note of what the market's telling you. What is it bringing to you in the form of opportunities? What kind of trade-offs you got? Trade opportunities do you have? We have this specific nice hammer into a very specifically provided to the market to execute and make money upon. That's it. Guys, it's a very well recognized NVIDIA 4-hourly 20 moving average. Nobody's going to miss this trade. Nobody. So that is the handout of the morning. In terms of the function as it carries over to Tesla, Tesla is still up and above. Let's go to Tesla here, pardon. Tesla is still up and above, but this is where the time consideration comes into play. This is where, yes, they're going to give you an opportunity to trade in the morning. If you're trading, let's say the pair of, not the pair, but the either, and guys, really NVIDIA, the market leader, and Tesla has a lot going on. Very exciting to trade Tesla. Along with Bitcoin, we'd like to see some impetus on fundamentals in Bitcoin really kick through in the SEC too. Kindly step aside if they would be so inclined to. I'm not sure that they will, but as we look at the time differentiation once again, 25 minutes into the parlay here of the market, we understand, okay, so NVIDIA rushed out of the gate, provided a great trade to a very well-respected, very obvious level. Now it's like the waiting game. So what are you invited to do? Instead of playing with this real solid time frame, the 4-hourly that we prefer and the specifics just screaming at you to trade it, right? The 4-hourly. What would you be invited to do? Spend more time, right? The market wants your time. Spend more time with Tesla and work your way down to the specifics of that 4-hourly moving average. Not a problem. I'll tell you, as you were to look at that, this is where, yes, time is the factor. I always tell our traders that the market right now wants your time. Okay, and in terms of that, what we will do is we will move to the back. I'll be bringing charts. I want you to move along with your morning, and we will be digging into the micro time frames to explore the patterning ongoing so that we can get a good handle on what exactly is going on. If I were to look at, for instance, Tesla, let's just bring Tesla real quickly. Some of the things that we may be looking at in the back look a little bit more like this, okay, in terms of the signaling, the patterning that's ongoing. Look for confirmation if you're using Skywalker. Skywalker is a great tool. Okay, it's we'll get into the details on it, but looking at these moves here on Tesla, just be looking for confirmation if you're trading. This is the 5-second chart. These are some nice trades. Okay, these are some very nice trades. 1.26%. Boom. Skywalker on the 5-second, guys. This is a nice maxed out about a 1% trade. Boom. Nice trades. This is the information we'll be looking at in the back. If you're trading with our tools, guys, you have this. Be careful on your time frame and look for confirmation on the signals. Don't blindly trade. Please don't blindly trade based on a signal. Always look for confirmation and your specific. As we look at Tesla performing beautifully, but as we look at the specifics for not only confirmation, but guys, any lack thereof and how it may be expressed with the combination of tools, that war chest that you've got, or that toolkit that you've got. We will talk to you soon. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. We got a nice little area to pop here, and we'll get into these, guys, the specific pattern formations here that we would discuss in the back clearly, and hopefully this flat top and bottom, the specific, the indicator that you see at work here, will come into play as dev work is ongoing. Just a very powerful tool. You understand exactly what needs to be broken on this micro pattern. You got it, right? Look at this 5-second. Very clear what the traders are looking at. Boom. Bottoming formation. Bam. We need up and over, or we are not in the clear to go long. You understand? Also, in terms of your probabilities of your extensions, if you don't have Bulkowski yet, if you don't have Tom Bulkowski's Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns, you have no idea what a fractional completion is. You just don't. You don't have a good idea or handle on a 50% fractional completion versus a 100% fractional completion. The specific, let's say, probabilities that are in line there, yes. But the differentiation on the pattern specifically, do you know the 60% versus the 75% or the 85%? Do you know the comparative between a bottoming formation in terms of the specific capital allocation probabilities as they would apply to a broadening formation? Right? Not only do you need to know that information, and it's not difficult to assemble. As you were to explore those facets, I just want to encourage you to give it a bit of your time, dig in a touch to the Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns, and if and when you do, you will find, if you love the market, you will find that it is the right way to go. Very quickly, you'll be beyond intrigued. You'll be compelled to dig further into it. Tom is a great guy. Shout out to Tom Bulkowski. And Tom, pleasure communicating with you, and look forward to a great 2023 and beyond as we finish out this year. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. We will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.